It's time to recap my trades from the week of February 2nd. So I'm on a new eval this week. I placed one trade last week. Um, and so I'm pretty happy with how much I was able to put in my eval this week, but I actually didn't take many trades. I only placed two trades on my eval this week. But my goal, my main focus this week was fighting. There's two sabotaging thoughts that kind of come through my mind when I'm trading, and my main focus was not only identifying them but like stopping myself in my tracks when I notice them, come to the surface. I can't say I earned an A plus on that. I'm gonna give myself maybe like a B minus. So I'm really trying to focus on fighting those thoughts, and it's so important to be aware of those thoughts and knowing what is triggering and what causes you to take bad trades. So anyways, maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, so let's talk about the trades I took. Monday was an amazing day. It was a super strong start to, my eval the week. um, this was the first day where I feel like I really had the guts to follow my system. And my system, it's all like back tested. Like I haven't done this, forward testing, I guess. I haven't taken it live. So I was targeting 200 points, which I got. And yeah, so that was really cool that I followed my back testing results. I did it, and obviously I wanted to take profit sooner. I wanted to close sooner, but a lot of trading is like fighting your urges. It's fighting your instincts, fighting what feels like the right thing to do, and it's so hard to do that. Um, so, anyways, I took a long right here and got my 200 somewhere up here. So, yeah, pretty awesome start. Tuesday, I didn't take any trades. So, the other thing is just following my rules, like following my models um, perfect, exactly the way that I've drawn them out. I had created a new rule coming into this week that I'm working on testing, and that's why I stayed out of two trades. Um, so I'm glad I followed my rules at the time. But yeah, I'm still like tinkering, like refining my rules a little bit. It's really just little details at this point and figuring out like the best market conditions. There's one setup in particular, there's really just one that I'm kind of like still trying to figure out. So, anyways, no trades Tuesday, which is annoying because if it wasn't for this one rule, I would have caught two trades and it would have been another amazing day. Okay, Wednesday. Wednesday was interesting. So I could tell at the market open there's a lot of volatility here. I mean, these candles, they're very big, very fast, big reactions. I took a short right here, and it did go to my TP, but I got wicked out first on this red candle. And it's not like I just barely got wicked out. It was like 20 points, which it doesn't look like it's that big of a move here, but there's a lot of points in these candles. So I took a loss, and this trade, I had a little bit of like I wasn't sure if I should have entered, and this is like part of why I give myself a B minus on that whole fighting my thoughts thing. I'm finding that when I feel like this sense of friction when entering trades, like I don't know if I should really enter, I'm not super clear if it meets my setup, I need to not enter. And that's very hard for me to fight actually, because I just want to try it anyway because maybe it'll work. So sticking to my very clear models. Now, in this case, it did meet my model, my setup, but there was something that was also a little bit different. There was just something I haven't seen before, and I wasn't sure if my model was still valid. So I should have not taken the trade. So yeah, and that way I didn't win against my mind on that one. So that's a bummer. But what's crazy is that I accidentally never came off sim mode. So this loss didn't count on my eval. I placed it on my sim account. I didn't even realize it. I don't. I think I've only made this mistake one other time. It's so weird that this happened, because there's a lot of signs, like the menu color changes. There's a little ribbon at the top that changes color. The menu confirmation says simulated order at the top. I missed all of that, and I didn't even realize it till somewhere in here. I realized this price action is no good, and I was like, all right, I'm done trading. So I went to get off, to put myself back into sim mode, and I realized I was already there. So obviously, if this was a win, I would have been pretty PO'd about that. But since it was a loss, I was like, oh, okay. um, that's so crazy that I didn't get off sim mode. But anyways, that's what happened. Um, Thursday was a no trade day. Still, again, like a lot of volatility. These candles, huge candles with a lot of points in them. Let's see. I was kind of interested in a short right here. I decided to skip out on it. I'm not mad about it. I wouldn't have gotten filled anyway, even though the candles look like small, but I wouldn't have gotten filled. And it's all based off where I put my stop and how much I'm willing to risk per trade. I have a max risk per trade, not per day like some people do. And, a lot of people say when there's more volatility in the market like this, you need to size down. That way you can give yourself a larger stop. And I suppose I could have done that, but I'm trading one micro. There is no sizing down. So right now I'm not in a place to be willing to increase my stop, because I can't size down. So I wouldn't have gotten filled anyway, but it doesn't matter. I decided to skip it. It doesn't matter both ways. I skipped it. I would have gotten filled even if I wanted to get in. Once price had come below the Globex low, I knew my only other setup was going to be if price could come up, retest, and then take a short. And that's exactly what happened. The setup appeared. I was super interested in coming in short. These candles, massive red candles. Price did not come up to tap me in by, I think it was 2 3/4 points. I was 2 3/4 points away from getting filled, and I would have been close to getting stopped out on this candle here. But ultimately, price did go in my favor to where I was planning on setting my TP, which was this support area that had been moved off of twice. So price did get there before moving up. So that was kind of a bummer. I didn't get filled by less than 3 points on a winning trade. But, that's how it goes sometimes. And maybe in the future when I'm trading more contracts, I could scale down and then allow myself a larger stop. But I can't do that right now. So, all right, Friday I took a losing trade. So this is the third trade I placed this week. I only placed 3 trades this whole week. That's the fewest I think I've done. And then only 2 counted towards my eval. So price action. So the market started off really strong here. We've got this crazy movement, but then it started like putting me to sleep. I really liked this setup. So I wanted to come in short right here. There's times I've noticed, like I was mentioning earlier, sometimes there's this sense of like friction in my mind of like if I should decide to enter or not. That was not the case here. I really liked the setup. I liked that there was a nice target to go to. I liked I was like, I wanted in the trade. And that is my second sort of sabotaging thought pattern. It doesn't come up as often as the first one. So I wanted in the trade. I have a rule that I wait for a candle to close over whatever level I'm looking for it to break over. However, this candle did not close over, but I didn't realize it until I already pushed yes on the menu confirmation. I pushed yes. I saw it didn't close over, and I was like, oh crap. And then I lost the trade. So this sort of second thought pattern of like I want in the trade causes me to do one of two things. One, not be patient, make sure that everything's valid. So in this case, I didn't make sure that price closed over. Now, in a way, it was also it was just like a mistake. It was like an honest mistake. Price was moving up and down very quickly at that level. It really did look like price had fallen, but like in the last second, it jumped up. And so yeah, I don't know. I should have saw it didn't close over and hit no on the menu confirmation. So that's one thing that will happen. The second thing when I want in the trade, when I'm feeling like I want in the trade, is that I won't set my stop correctly. I won't set my stop where it needs to be. And because I have like a set risk per trade, what that means is I'll come in higher or lower on a trade. And either like I just have a bad fill, or really it should be that I just shouldn't have gotten into the trade at all, because if I put my stop where it should have been, it would be that price is so far that I just wouldn't get in the trade, which usually saves me. But I have that thought of I want in, so I'll put my stop in the wrong spot. Um, so those are the two common like thoughts that I'm aware of that I need to stop myself. Um, so yeah, so I made a mistake on this day. So two trades on my eval this week. One was I mean, for me it was like a home run, but I followed my system, and because of that, it helps me, makes up for my losses, and that's where I need to be. Like I need to be in a place where my wins more than make up for my losses, because I don't have a good win rate. No matter what I do, no matter how I adjust my rules and tweak things and everything like that, I just have a poor win rate. So I see it's possible in backtesting. I see that I can do it, but I just have yet to like make it happen. So anyways, I am happy with the trades I took this week. I'm still refining certain things as far as when certain setups are actually valid. So one thing that's really helping me, finally, I started printing out my charts, and so now I'm marking them up in pencil. But more importantly, is I'm organizing them by strategy, by setup, and then from there, I'm organizing them by context. So I'm able to organize my charts based off context instead of just, I screenshot my charts every day, but they're just organized by date in my Excel file. And it's harder actually to identify patterns within a strategy. So doing it this way, organizing my charts this way, allows me to see models and patterns within a strategy. And so it's helping me with creating rules. And then just as I'm getting more data and I'm able to get more examples of different setups that I have, just kind of deciding like which rules I need to keep, which ones I can get rid of. So I'm hoping that's going to help me moving forward. It's definitely helping me to identify things more like clear. Okay, that's it. That's my recap for this week. I'm pretty happy overall, and I'm just hoping to, I don't know, I'm just hoping to keep this up. Like, but I do need to get better at really stopping myself when I notice those sort of sabotaging thoughts that come through my head. So that is my biggest focus, my biggest hurdle, and what I'm trying to work on. So that's what I need to keep working on every week. All right, I hope you had a good trading week. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week.